So welcome everyone. Cortana and myself David will reveal the top 10 psychological anime list. Let's begin with number 10. We have Future Diary. Yukihiro Amana is a 14-year-old timid, daydreaming loner who observes life and jots down the events on his cell phone. His only friends are Deus Ex Machina, the god of space and time, and his assistant Miru Miru. Deus transforms Yukihiro's phone into a future diary, capable of predicting the future up to 90 days. Yukihiro discovers he and 11 others are part of a survival game orchestrated by Deus. The aim of this game is to eliminate the other diary holders, the winner succeeding Deus as god and can prevent the apocalypse. Yukihiro finds himself protected by Yuno Geizai, a charming but psychopathic classmate who obsessively stalks him after they promised to go stargazing together a year before. It's a horror-based psychological.
At number 9 we have Monster. Dr. Ken's Tenma is a young Japanese brain surgeon, working at Isler Memorial Hospital in Dusseldorf. Tenma is dissatisfied with the political bias of the hospital in treating patients, and seizes the chance to change things after a massacre brings fraternal twins Johann and Anna Liebert into the hospital. Johann has a gunshot wound to his head, and Anna mutters about killing. Tenma operates on Johann instead of the mayor, who arrived later. Johann is saved, but Mayor Rodecker dies. Tenma loses his social standing. Director Heinemann and the other doctors in Tenma's way are mysteriously murdered, and both children disappear from the hospital. The police suspect Tenma, but they have no evidence and can only question him.
Der klimatische Scan zeigt keinerlei Reaktion. Es kann unmöglich noch jemand da gewesen sein. Bitte sagen Sie mir, wirke ich so, als ob ich...
At number 8 we have Psychopaths. Psychopaths is set in a futuristic era in Japan where the Sibyl system, a powerful network of psychometric scanners, actively measures the minds and mentalities of civilized populations using a cymatic scan of the brain. The resulting assessment is called a psychopath. When the calculated likelihood of an individual committing a crime, measured by the crime coefficient index, exceeds an accepted threshold, he or she is pursued, apprehended, and killed if necessary by police forces. Elite officers labeled enforcers are equipped with large handguns called Dominators, special weapons that only activate when aimed at suspects with higher than acceptable crime coefficients. Enforcers are themselves selected for innately high crime coefficients, marking them as latent criminals. They are overseen by police inspectors, who have the jurisdiction to shoot them with their Dominators should they pose a danger to the public.
Die Menschen und das Gesetz zu schützen, werde ich dich jetzt... Ich wusste, dass wir mit alledem nicht fertig werden können. Ich vollstrecke.
If we were to treat them like the animals they are, they'd kill us all.
I'll walk you home. I mean, what kind of date would I be if I didn't at least do that much?
It's this way. Is there something wrong, Toka?
It's nothing.
Kaneki, I want you just as much as you want me.
The story follows Ken Kaneki, a college student who barely survives a deadly encounter with Rise Kamishiro, his date who reveals herself as a ghoul. He is taken to the hospital in critical condition. After recovering, Kaneki discovers that he underwent a surgery that transformed him into a half-ghoul. This was accomplished because some of Rise's organs were transferred into his body, and now, like normal ghouls, he must consume human flesh to survive. The ghouls who manage the coffee shop Antioku take him in and teach him to deal with his new life as a half-ghoul. Some of his daily struggles include fitting into the ghoul society, as well as keeping his identity hidden from his human companions.
Ghouls of the world.
So you're not a human? I can't be a ghoul.
From school today. They said you left early.
Something happened?
Just felt a little sick, that's all. I can't tell Mom or Dad about this. I think I'm crazy.
For number 6 we have Parasite the Maxim, a horror psychological anime. Parasite centers on a 17-year-old high school student named Shinichi Izumi, who lives with his mother and father in a quiet neighborhood in Tokyo. One night, worm-like creatures called parasites appear on Earth, taking over the brains of human hosts by entering through their ears or noses. One parasite attempts to crawl into Shinichi's ear while he sleeps, but fails as Shinichi is wearing headphones, and enters his body by burrowing into his arm instead. In the Japanese version, it takes over his right hand and is named Mighty, after the Japanese word for right. They try to save humanity from being destroyed by parasites.
It's dangerous. He must be eliminated.
This should not be happening! Did you just save my life?
The only life I consider important is my own, so I chose the safest option.
When I first took control of this human host.
What did you do with my daughter?
To devour your entire species.
The Saitama Lycons is the weakest team in the Japanese league. Hiromichi Kojima, the Lycons star batter, forms a training camp in Okinawa to try for his last attempt at a championship after 21 years. When the minor league pitcher training with Kojima becomes injured, him and Kojima's trainer goes to look for a replacement, but run into trouble by participating in the one-outs game, where a pitcher and batter duel one-on-one with money on the line. The next day, Kojima arrives to avenge his teammates and meets Totokchi, who appears to have no special pitching skills, but defeats Kojima easily and causes him to enter seclusion to re-evaluate himself as a professional player. Later, Tokchi accepts a rematch after Kojima raised the stakes, proclaiming he will retire immediately if he loses, but he will take Tokchi's right arm to make sure he will never gamble on baseball again if Tokchi loses. This time, Tokchi experiences his very first loss and offers Kojima his right arm to have it broken. Instead, Kojima tells him he never intended to break it, and asks Tokchi to join the Lycons and use his unique pitching ability to take the Lycons to the championship. Soon, Tokchi meets Psychopaths, the greedy owner of the Lycons who only cares about the team making a profit. Psychopaths is reluctant to give Tokchi any sort of significant salary due to his inexperience as a professional, but Tokchi offers an unusual proposal. He proposes the one-outs contract, a performance-based pay where he gets 5 million yen for every out he pitches, but loses 50 million yen for every run he gives up.
At number 4 we have Steins Gate, an emotional scientific anime. It's one of the best sci-fi anime available. It is set in 2010 in Akihabara, Tokyo, and follows Rintaro Okabe, a self-proclaimed mad scientist, who runs the future gadget laboratory in an apartment together with his friends Mayuri Shiina and Itaru Daru Hashida. While attending a conference about time travel, Okabe finds the dead body of Kurisu Makiize, a neuroscience researcher. He sends a text message about it to Daru, and later discovers that Kurisu is alive, and that the message arrived before he sent it. The laboratory members learn that the cell phone-operated microwave oven they are developing can send text messages back in time. They are joined by Kurisu, and investigated, sending text messages, referred to as D-mails, to the past to change the present. Kurisu eventually creates a device that can send memories through the microwave oven, effectively allowing the user to time travel.
Japan became a dominion of the empire. The Far East Island nation had held fast to its neutrality. And now Britannia looms as the world's only superpower. We'll be obliterated!
At number 3 we have Code Geass. Code Geass is a Japanese anime series created by Sunrise, directed by Gore Taniguchi, and written by Ajir Kauchi, with original character designs by manga authors Clamp. Set in an alternate timeline, The series focuses on how the former Prince Lelich VI Britannia obtains a power known as Geos and decides to use it to obliterate the Holy Britannian Empire, a superpower that has been conquering various countries.
0 hour is approaching. Are you ready for the rebellion? Code Geass.
At number 2 we have Death Note. Death Note is a Japanese manga series written by Tsukumi Oba and illustrated by Takeshi Ebata. The story follows Light Yarigami, a high school student who discovers a supernatural notebook from China named Reed that grants its user the ability to kill anyone whose name and face he knows. The series centers around Light's attempts to create and rule a world cleansed of evil as God using the notebook, and the efforts of a detective known as L to stop him.
And finally at number 1 we have Erased. This is my favorite anime. The story follows Satoru Fujinuma, a man who somehow possesses an ability that sends him back in time moments before a life-threatening incident, allowing him to prevent it from happening. When his mother is murdered by an unknown assailant, Satoru's ability suddenly sends him back 18 years to when he was still in elementary school, giving him the opportunity to prevent a kidnapping incident that took the lives of 3 of his childhood friends, 2 classmates, and 1 young girl studying at a school nearby.